Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast, The Cunning Buffoons. My name is Dylan.
I'm Andrew. What's my name?
Say my name. Say my name.
What's my name this week?
So,
Yo,
what do you? What's up?
That's like one of those anime things. They would. My name's Yuno this week.
You know? All right, Black Clover wannabe.
I would definitely pick Asta if I was a black. So much better.
Gauche.
You want to be a you sister complex?
Yeah, but his power is like
You sister
over the chart.
ghost?
Yeah,
No, it's not.
it can be, and it will be.
He has mirrored.
He
Who am I
got
picking?
mirror in his
Vice
eyes.
captain. Black Bulls.
What's his name?
Dude can just control devils.
What if there are no devils to control?
There's the vice captain of the Black Bulls. You haven't finished the show, have you?
Are y'all talking about One Piece?
I thought that was facial magic.
That's the vice captain of the Golden Dawn.
Oh, y'all talking about a completely different thing.
Spatial magic, dude. Fenrir's brother is the vice captain of the Golden Dawn.
And he's vice captain. Fenrir's brother, Fenrir, is vice captain. He's not. Who the heck is?
Fenrir's just there.
What are they talking about?
Notch?
I think that's his name.
Black Clover.
I don't remember. Yeah, I haven't finished it.
This guy.
They watch so many, and all the
Okay, he looks
characters look the
familiar.
same.
He teaches Asta how to control the devil better. But he controls devils. That's why he goes out of the country, because he's a criminal. Because you're not supposed to control devils. And what's like, I mean, obviously Nami's going to pick criminals. It's that guy. Not. What's his name? What's it say his name is?
Okay, now that I think about it, I would 100% take
Not.
Not.
Paul?
Noct.
I think it is, yeah.
Noct.
Knock.
it. If it's German, it's
Is
not.
it Nacht?
N-A.
Nacht.
Yeah.
It's Noct.
Knock.
Okay, so we were talking about D&D, right? So what I was saying is, like, when I first started playing D&D, they gave me a pre-made character. I was just a human with a great axe. And the only thing I was good at was saying something stupid, not realizing that I could just do it if I rolled high enough. And so I'd be like, I want to jump in the sky and chop this goblin in half. And they'd be like, roll. I'd be like, oh. And then I'd roll and I'd get like a nat 20. And then I'd just jump in the sky and it'd be the most stupid crap. I killed like an ogre one time. And I had no idea I was being serious. And then I rolled like a nat 20 and it was like, oh.
Yeah, but see, that's the fun part about D&D. Like, it's because it's all based on, like, it's a role-playing game. Like, the role depends on so much. Like, you know, when we play with my buddy Luke, he got a little twig creature.
Twiggy.
Yeah, Twiggy was his name, but he was what's the name of the creatures he's based off of? The ants from like Lord of the Rings. It's kind of like a baby ant, you know.
Mhm.
But he's like, I want to befriend it and make it mine. And I'm like, whatever, like roll for it. And sure enough, nat 20. And it's like, fine, you got a freaking ant as a pet. And he's like, yeah. And I'm going to call him Twiggy. And like Twiggy was there from then on. And it was like,
It was like
it's hard DMing because like they always ask the stupidest thing. And instead of just saying no, you're like, sure, roll for it. And like they get it every freaking time.
it's like I was like, I want my. Was that which character was it, Mom, that my javelin teleported back to me? So I could yeet my javelin and it would teleport back to me.
You
Bro
just
had-
like,
Bro had
it's like
loyal-
auto reload. Just
Yeah,
Bro had loyalty 3 on his javelin.
What was it? It was that my Dragonborn character,
By
Mom?
the way, for anybody who
I
doesn't
think
know,
so, yeah.
So
that's
I had
a Minecraft reference.
I had a Dragonborn and my secondary was a javelin, and I just liked great axes because who doesn't like a great axe? Because I remember at the end of that campaign when Caleb killed everybody, like if you weren't there at that DM session, he killed you. He killed absolutely everybody. everybody.
Why?
It was the end. He said he was wrapping it up.
Oh, he was the.
He was
Yeah,
at the end. He was
he
the
done
end.
like a
That's just his character.
No, he done a campaign for us.
Killed
Yeah,
everybody.
and so, at the end, your character's just there like, oh, everyone's dead. So, you got to like, as your character, be like, dang, all
Now-
your adventure buddies are dead. You're in a different dimension. Everybody's like,
Now, technically, though, like the last one that like I played into Caleb's the last like campaign I did for you guys, where when it ended, y'all were all like in limbo, in like a suspended dimension, because like some deity had come and snatched them out of their dimension to fight in another dimension. When they were done, he kind of just put them on ice. So technically, like we could pull that entire campaign back out and dive back into it at any time.
yeah. So I remember the last game we played, like he killed everybody. And I was like, okay, my character takes his axe off his back, puts it down in the dirt, and just kneels. And is like, that's his like respects. And that's how it ended.
Okay.
But
no, no.
having the teleporting javelin was probably the coolest.
That's kinda cool.
Oh, the baddest weapon my character had was a sledgehammer head, but instead of being on a stick, it was on a rope where I could sling it around. But it was one of those like I want to craft this as a weapon. And the DM's like, go for it. And I'm like,
I remember asking Caleb about that, and he was like, look it up. He's like, figure it out if you can do it. And me and Mom did it. And it was,
and that's the fun part about it. Like, I enjoyed D&D because all my kids were a bunch of goofballs. And like I had a bunch of friends that were goofballs.
we had what?
We got more into the role play and the stupidity of it. Like the strict to the rules is not like our style.
I can't do it.
It's like when we started your first campaign, what were you using? My Lego figures?
I think so.
And we were just goofing off. It was what? Wasn't Vaden there the first time we played? I think he was. I know he did one game with us, but I don't know if it was the first campaign.
I think it might have been one of the first one shots because you guys were little.
I know it was Angel was there, Tess, Caleb was there, Chris was there for a few of them.
Yeah.
He did the
For a
campaign with
while.
us.
Yeah.
He did the campaign with us, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was fun. There was a lot of us. I mean,
And so, like, you've been listening to a lot of D&D. Have you ever played D&D?
I played once with you.
yeah,
Played
remember
once.
that
I
one
was
shot
the
we did,
bird.
and he was that bird.
Which one shot? Did I DM it or who
Yeah,
DM'd it?
you did.
What was that? When did we do that? What was that for?
Oh, I think just
I was
one
a
day.
frog with samurai.
I think it was
sword.
one day
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay. I remember that. Yeah.
Mom was like, "What do you want to be?" I was like, "Frog with samurai sword." Y'all made all the
I
characters
didn't,
actually.
I didn't pick mine.
Yeah, y'all made them.
Did your mama DM it and I helped her? Is that
Mhm.
what? Yeah, because your mama wanted to DM one and I was a character. But
It
I,
was just a one
So
shot.
wait.
It was when Caleb was in from leave, when he was on leave, and I wanted to do a one shot.
Should you
Should
see if he wants to come on the podcast and doing what he's in?
I can. Yeah, I can ask him.
that would be cool. So
If
we
we
would need the DM and 3 players. So like us 3 players.
I don't know. We could do more.
I need another microphone. Hey, you need to bring your microphone.
I'll bring it. It's not like these. Not even close.
Yeah, but if we can USB
But if it's
it,
better than those down there, that
yeah, if we
I
can
need to hear
USB
Caleb
it
with-
and have her use it, we could have Caleb. She could still participate. You know, have
who,
the
who
whole.
else could we have? I mean, we could have a bunch of people on
I would love to DM one.
here. Do it. Make one.
My problem is I would go into like whole depth of it.
There's
make
no-
it like
no, that's
make it like a month.
No, do it.
That's what-
If you want to do it, if you want to do one, we can do it on. Just set a date every week. And
yeah. And what I'm saying, like, if you guys want to do a campaign where we do one podcast a month, where we just D&D and chill out, relax. Okay.
And we could do a campaign we just do every week. If you wanted to do yours and just do it every week.
Yeah. And I wouldn't mind doing it out here because the table's already set up for it. Like,
Yeah, that was our D&D table.
and like one of the cool things about recording it would be able to be like look back and like re-listen. Because as a DM, it gets really hard. You got to keep really good notes. Because like Luke used to get mad at us, and I kind of understand because I used to get mad at these guys. Because like you plan a one shot, and you're like, okay, you've got all this like intricate crap, and you've got freaking monsters planned, and traps, and special events, and all this stuff that you need them to get to, but they spend like 4 weeks in a freaking hallway. that you had nothing planned for this hallway, but they investigate and scratch, and they spend so much time asking questions about this hallway that you're like, well, crap. Now I got to make up something stupid for them to do in this hallway. And then after a month, they're like, oh, we're getting close to the end of the campaign. It's like, you haven't even started. You didn't make it past the shrubbery.
See, I would do something stupid if y'all wanted to investigate a stupid hallway that had no intent for it. You know, well, there's an iron golem behind that wall. Good luck.
Yeah, see, sometimes you can do that. The problem, and also as DMing, you got to figure out if you want to be, because like there are DMs that are jerks, like just you want to go drink in game.
Right there, DM. That's a jerk.
What? I don't.
Loved making us mad.
I didn't kill all y'all all the time though.
That was
No, the
Bam.
No,
But anyway.
I'd like to say, no. Oh, wait, I got one. So no juices come out.
That two
Nothing
for
but
two.
net.
Dylan. That hurt way more than it should have.
okay. So
Sorry.
No, that's my fault for even pulling
Oh,
my
yeah,
hand.
that's right.
no, I
Okay,
don't.
hang on.
At the one shot we did,
Yeah,
I don't.
he
really-
killed us, but it
Did
was
he?
all a dream. But you did kill us though.
But it was all a fever dream because of the mushroom dude.
But still, my British, well, I have to think.
Don't
British bird never became the British bird.
But see, we could also like you could do D&D style stuff with just about any genre.
Have you actually? How deep are you into? How deep have you looked at D&D? Because you realize there are D&D books for future. Like,
What do you mean for future?
I mean, like you can have laser beams.
Yeah, there's like cyberpunk D&D.
Yeah.
There's
See, that's what I.
steampunk D&D.
My
That's like a thing I
uncle has
wanted
the
to
books
do.
for all.
I wanted
This
to do
is-
like a futuristic.
some character
Type
angles
deal.
from it that my buddy got me when we played a lot. Like you're supposed to paint them up, but like I can't see stuff close, so I don't paint stuff up close. Tiny
That's a
stuff.
game I
We had
wanted
a really
to do.
cool dragon.
Yeah. Now see, like even with like
I think Angel.
the D&D stuff,
Like
you could
Caleb's
do
Dragon?
like a zombie
Caleb?
world if you
Mhm.
wanted to. Like it can be like survival.
Talking about Caleb's
I'm
worm.
listening to this one right now. It's like D&D.
You don't remember his worm?
but
That was the main bad guy.
monsters.
He
and
worked
they're
on it for
very
forever.
fragile. You got
Yeah.
7
Yeah.
points, and that's
No,
fine.
that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about the dragon.
It's actually kind of like
So it's just a world where the monsters are just more of an annoyance.
yeah, but it's like modern
Modern times.
modern times.
So it's kind of like bam, and like they really had a lot of hit points if you had to beat them to death with a stick. But since you got a shotgun,
See, but here's what I want.
I'm in still episode 1, probably not even like 50 minutes.
I want to do one. I like the older like style, but I don't want like the. So I don't want to be like running around with an AR. See, like you could do modern, but I want to still have the abilities, the power ups, why is my strength that strong?
yeah.
that's
So you want to
not
do more along
possible.
like the steampunk lines.
Yeah.
Like, you have modern technology,
And
but like
if
your
we did-
weaponry
I say
still.
we could do one like Cyberpunk. Enhance our bodies. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So Dylan,
And they have books for those styles too, or you can just take the D&D kind of rules and just change the names of the weapons. and
Yeah,
change
that's
what the
it.
weapons
I'm just
are.
gonna go. If I do something like that, I'm just gonna completely off everything.
because like I
You know
mean,
what? You get a 3-headed
Dylan,
dog.
you can make your own monsters. You just have to draw up and look up hit points and make it realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be like, oh, you have to hit this 1 billion times with your sword, or you cannot move. You can do that,
Yeah.
but
There's
nobody.
I'm gonna pull-
Everybody.
certain monsters that you look up in the monster manual that you're like, no.
I'm gonna pull an Elden Ring on y'all. I'm gonna give you
Dude,
the hardest
You
boss
just walk
ever.
up to it and it just one tap.
No, I'm gonna give you the hardest boss ever. It's got 1 billion health points, but there's a sword right legit at the entrance you have to find, and then it's like a 1-shot kill for you.
Oh, so
There's
if
an
we
actual
have the
boss fight.
enchanted sword, we're good. But
Yeah,
if we
you're good.
don't investigate, so you're telling us that we need to investigate every rock until it's just absolutely the entire campaign. So like,
Until you get to that certain
See,
boss,
but, like,
which might never
Or you
happen.
could do one like how like once you die, you kind of die in those. You could do one like where you just come back, but like nobody knows how, and so everybody like you get your head lopped off, and then like 2 hours later, you just like are beat bopping in like, "What's up, guys?" And everybody's just like shocked to crap. Like how? in
Just
the
watched you
world?
die.
I wonder.
Or like imagine
It-
doing one like ReZero.
I was fixing to say do one like ReZero, but every week I get to roll a die, or the DM rolls a die to see which character resets if they die. That way, nobody knows they're the character that gets to reset everything.
That would be kind of cool.
Because that way, if you're in a fight and like a random character dies, it'd be like, all right, it is yesterday at 7:05 in the morning. You are recooking your breakfast. What do you do? And that would also play on like how hard it is to remember what you literally just said. So
Yeah.
like, it's a new day now, but it's the same day. What are you doing? And you're like, well, crap, what did we do yesterday? You know?
Yeah, and I don't know if you kind of just said this, but I think it kind of close. I would love a Groundhog one too, like Groundhog Day type deal.
So have you seen ReZero yet? Okay.
I haven't
Dylan-
watched any
Dylan,
anime.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, like he resets if he dies, right?
Yeah.
But like his save point changes throughout it. So like,
So if he makes it past the save point,
like certain levels, yeah, it resets to a different time. So like you could do that, but like every campaign instead of everybody knowing the character. Because like at a certain point, like spoilers for people listening, if you're wanting to watch ReZero or you're watching ReZero and you don't know what's going on,
Click off. now.
close your ears right now. But like, so he knows that he can reset it. So
he can't tell him.
yeah, so there's times that like he'll just be like,
Thinking about
"Dadgummit,"
that.
and just
You don't like it?
Not really. It's not my cup of tea. Just tastes weird to me.
You want this not?
Sure.
you guys are not right in the head.
Oh, 100%
Tastes 100%
Never.
like Nas, bro. It's
That's
crazy.
literally Nos in a can.
So you've been listening to D&D.
Yes.
So when are we?
hang on.
We gotta actually, if we're gonna do this, we gotta do this. So Dylan, you're gonna be working on a one shot, or do you want to do a campaign?
I can do both.
If we do a campaign, we need to get more than 2 people to play.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's why we'd have a fourth mic. We'd have 3 players and a DM.
All right.
But that's why I'm saying I'd ask Luke if he'd want to do a one shot or 2. Just make characters for us and everything.
Until I freaking
and
figure
have
out how to
him be
do
our
something.
DM.
Have him be our DM for like a couple sessions. That way, like, kind of help you get the flow and kind of learn it. Because like once you get immersed in knowing how to play, then it's a lot easier to swap over, and also to kind of see the cadence. And he's a DM that is very much into the role play and the like time and aspect. I don't know if he'll have time.
His?
Couple of them. It's been a long time. Like I said, I don't know if he'll have time, but I'll talk to him and see if.
See, I love the
Matter of fact,
idea
I will text him. So
of-
like,
And if he
DMing?
can't do it, we can always have you do it, and then just have someone else come in.
Because my personal opinion, I'm an all right storyteller. It's just that the story part,
We'll just work
I
on
can't
it.
think of it.
We'll go through. I'll give you some of the books.
'Cause
I'll give
look-
you the. We have a DM guide, don't we?
So look,
Yeah,
check.
I'm pretty sure we do.
So we have a DM guide. So I'll just give you the DM guide, and you can like kind of look over it. Because like the starter kit we started with gave you the campaign.
Yeah.
And that's the first one we did, right, Mom?
I think so, yeah.
And Dad kind of, he didn't completely follow it, but he kind of like started and learned through that.
yeah, reading it and kind of like learning with it. It's hard to keep because like it's turn based. It's like turn based combat and everything, and so like it gives you a lot of strategies and a lot of different ways to like keep up what's going on. It's like if you're in a fight and you're the DM, you're playing every bad guy on the board and trying to keep up with what everybody else. Like what bad guy has. I mean, so like if you got one person they're fighting, like they're fighting a boss, it's one guy. It's not that hard. But if you've got 6 kobolds,
Yeah,
know.
it makes it a lot easier if you have stuff on.
Are there stage 2 bosses or just one stage?
oh, it goes all. Jesus is in the manual as in the D&D world.
Does you know what I mean by stage 2?
Like,
Do you think you kill him, but he
Yeah.
comes back?
Yeah.
Okay,
you
I'm
can do that.
sorry. It just
There's
made it
creatures.
sound like you
there's
did it.
creatures that can regenerate. There's creatures.
No, it's not regeneration.
Let's
It's like he
do
gets
one.
stronger.
Let's do one where we just use our own characters.
Our
I'd
old
love to
characters.
play Nineveh again.
I would love Grumbledore back.
And then we can just hand Dylan. We can just hand Dylan a stack of every character.
He
we
can
have.
play Zama.
You wanna be
Or I can make
Okay,
He can
a
be
hey,
my own
Grumbledore's
character.
wife.
Hey Dylan, Zama is Grumbledore's wife.
No. I can just make my own character because I would like my own character.
You can have
He
your
can play
crow
God.
back.
He's dead in my mind.
He's dead.
dead to me.
Now that he's not
Or we could
10
just
foot
we could
tall
just
British
mix
guy.
up every character we've ever made
That would
and
not be good.
we just all draw one.
Yeah, and see, like the reason I loved Grumbledore so much is because, the reason I love D&D is like when we played it a lot. It's like there's so many me's in my head that has so many, like there's so many worlds and stories going on, anyways. And like I didn't have to make up a character. I'm like I'm just going to pull out the fat Scottish dwarf that lives in my head, anyways, and he gets to be a character.
See, I can't get into the role playing. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know. He's making it sound like it's like I don't know. I didn't really like.
I don't mind if everybody else does it. It's just,
Well, no, I never was like, oh, I'm this character. I didn't really see it that way. I
I
just saw
can't
it as
do.
I
Oh, hey guys, I can't do that with a straight face.
It doesn't matter.
Hey.
That's the fun of
just talk as your guy.
Be Grumbledore.
it. Grumbledore. I don't know if I can pull him out right now.
Yeah, you can.
It'll
See,
take a minute.
because like they would all do their accents, and I was just like me. My Dragonborn sounded like me. I mean, I was
Your
a
fog
I
sound
was
like
a
you too.
I was a 7-foot black Dragonborn, and I sounded like this.
Why black?
That's just the color that
It was a lightning dragon or something.
Was I black or blue?
I think you were blue.
I could breathe lightning though.
Yeah.
But I was kind of sucked at it.
See,
so
so
I
when
never
I think of-
used it.
So when I think of Dragonborn, I know it's not that because now I know. I think I told Malachi this. In Skyrim, there's a Dragonborn, but he kills dragons and he can speak dragon, which is like a power.
Yeah.
So that's my mind, a human, just a plain or an Argonian, or a cat, or a human, or an elf, either one.
A
Don't matter.
humanoid creature.
Well, as long it's Elder Scrolls, there's a bunch of them. Anyway,
Yeah.
but human mainly. if
Well, I
you
mean,
want.
in a Dragonborn in D&D is just dragon skinned person.
Yeah, but that's what they are. But
This
they're
is
just
the
or-
concept.
yeah, no, yeah, I know.
I mean that I don't know what I want.
But no,
The way I see
Dragonborn
me,
in my head, because I played Skyrim too much, is Busrada, which is
So
just a push
So you could have a regular human barbarian
who slays dragons.
who thinks he's a dragonborn because he has a dragon helmet. Just have him be retarded.
See,
'cause
like,
he
the
was raised in
way-
woods.
the way I saw me is like I look, because I never read out what I was wearing.
There he is. There's Skyrim. So
I
yeah,
think I
that
fought one of
guy goes around, slays dragons, absorbs their souls, and it's like, you know what? Tastes good. Then now he can.
See, the
Power?
way the
Or
way I
power?
saw my Dragonborn is like I don't know. I would say this style head, something like that,
Yeah, Skyrim reminds me of so much of D&D,
or something like this. Just like that, but like less with the like weird tentacles.
I'd like to say that just for any D&D nerds out there, Skyrim's not cool. My opinion is, but it's not.
And
Same
I
time.
was just a 7-foot tall guy, and I wore like a full robe, so like you couldn't see anything but my head. I was just dripped out.
I fall naked. No, I'm just kidding.
But like I feel like I never added in the concept of the fact that I had scales, which I feel like should have been.
You were also like 8.
Was I can't even remember. I remember.
Yeah, you were like 8, 9, and 10. So like you were so young that like I think now if we could all get back into it, it'd be an absolute like we had a lot of fun back then, but it was hard to like do campaigns and stuff because everybody was so young. But like now I think it'd be an absolute blast.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, and we could go to different places now a lot easier and do it wherever.
Y'all could pick up on the hints of when I said, you've all rolled nat 20s. There's nothing in this hallway. There is a door at the end that looks like that's where you need to go.
Nah, see, I would still be like, guys, I think there's something. He's
See,
just
like
trying
when
to get us away.
when we played the last one with Caleb, I was like, I went to the bar. Was that with Caleb?
I've slept since then.
I went to a bar, my character, and I was like, just give me the strongest crap you got. And Caleb, the bartender, was like, you can't handle it. And I was like, nah. I rolled like a 5. I chugged the whole thing, passed out. One of them had to carry me out on their back. It was
Yeah, he was out of commission for like 2 days. It's like, that gummit, son.
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And like at the moment, you're like, dang. And, you're kind of upset because you're like, dang. couldn't handle that. But then like now you're just laughing. Wow, I couldn't. It was like called like fireball crap or something, but it wasn't.
I don't know why, but that gave me an. I just saw a picture of what she's looking at. Gave me an idea. I would want a Bloodborne character.
I mean, you can make whatever you want. Like I said, I'll get you the manuals that we got. We have a DM manual. We have a player's guide.
What's
We got a
the-
couple of the monster manuals.
It's a human with an axe and a blunderbuss, pretty much, and that's all I want. Nothing else.
Wait,
so
give me
are
that.
you gonna
Trying
play a
make your
barbarian?
character?
Huh?
You're gonna be a barbarian. then.
I was always a barbarian.
Or it's, it
Well-
could be it's like a switch axe.
What was our first one? A knight?
Or
Yeah.
blood.
No, a
Blood.
soldier.
I can't remember.
Would
were a
you even
soldier
call that
first.
a blunderbuss? Or is that just a straight
No, I was
pistol?
a paladin. A paladin.
That sounds right. I almost always am a barbarian of some type. They're
My
so much easier to
Dragonborn-
play. 'cause
my
they're so much
Dragonborn-
closer to my actual
Yeah,
character.
because, like,
Sorry, I was looking at
So
those
a
pictures.
barbarian, you can rage
and it gives you like
plus
advantage.
everything. It gives you an advantage on pretty much most
Yeah.
anything that's a frontward attack. It gives you an advantage on.
So I'll just make a random character, and his only thing is just Dark Souls back. That's his ability. Dark Souls back.
In Dark Souls,
It's invade anything.
so like Final Fantasy, that one button that is dodge.
Yeah.
Circle most of the time on most games. I don't know what it is in Final Fantasy.
Or a circle.
Yeah, but in
Or
most games
X.
it's circle. So you just when you're fighting and you know you're not winning, you just mash circle to evade. So Dylan's saying his whole character just sits there and rolls and
Like rolls like 5 times.
He has 6 rolls and he has to get a certain number. If he doesn't get it, he has to stay and fight.
I'm okay with this because I got
So-
a blunderbuss. I'm not scared.
so you're starting a campaign.
I
You're
would
gonna do a
love
one shot.
to.
Okay, do it. Draw up a one shot and tell us when you got it ready.
The one shot might take me a minute because I have an idea of like a straight campaign that might take months.
Oh, so that's not a one shot.
I know, but I
That's
know
a
that's
campaign.
why I said that. I just
see,
said that.
But what you can do is build your one shot in that world. That way you get to start playing with the world and the
Like that.
lore and the history. Because like if you're saying like I want to make up an island and I'm going to be like this is going to be the island nation or whatever, and that's where my campaign's going to be, go ahead and like start thinking of your one shots and stuff to like it helps you flesh out like the history of whatever land. Because like you can do it like the books, and there's all types of like ones that will guide you through. And like specifically, they've already got all the battles and everything, and they're great to start with. But like if you want to jump right in and just learn as you go, which is fun and frustrating at the same time. But like if you've got a campaign idea, do a one shot or two in that kind of like world, and that
So,
way you can build all your names and your cities and geography. And
when we do this and I do the DMing, I want y'all to be as brutally honest as y'all can. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's all right, it's all right.
We need to find.
If it's phenomenal, tell me it
We need to
sucks.
find another person that could just be in it because I mean you don't want to. 2 people you can do it, but it's just It's
I mean, I can think of NPCs in my head. That y'all would probably
it would not be hard to find a third person to play for. I mean, your mama would probably play with us.
like being on camera
She has to sit over
You
there.
have sisters that might.
though. They're women. Think of a dude.
You want to get? I don't know.
I don't think none of my people were
Caleb would
like.
He's weird. Not in a weird way. If you're watching Caleb, you just.
By the way, there's 2 Calebs. We're not talking about
Yeah.
the same Caleb.
There's
every
like
time we say
5
Caleb.
Calebs.
Yeah. The Caleb that likes D&D is the Caleb that likes D&D. The Caleb that's weird doesn't like D&D. By the way,
You know
Caleb-
which Caleb you
Caleb
are.
that's weird. He just is like
even though
it's football.
he's a big Star Wars fan. I found that out. I don't know if you wanted that a secret or not, but
Why don't we just make it? Just tell him we're doing the podcast.
I could do a Star Wars. No, that'd be,
I mean, they have that. You can do whatever the heck you want,
I'm thinking about it.
and if you do it right,
Mom, can you give me that
you could be in
T-shirt?
like a crazy old school world and then just get transported through time. Be like, all right, mofos, now we're
Well,
dealing
see-
with nuclear weapons.
No, kind of my thing was kind of what I kind of wanted it to be. I'm already going to tell you the premise because I can't stand it.
What's going on over there?
Part of life.
No, I don't. I don't blow my nose.
My guy.
That's not okay.
No, I can't stand it.
Everybody has snot.
Malachi will punch you in
Malachi.
your face.
He's asking.
I'm asking for it.
For what?
She's saying her son
Malachi
is.
was
Oh.
asking.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not asking for snot on me. But no, the premise is that I kind of wanted y'all to be taken out of the world, put in a different one, fight there, taken out again, think you're about to go back home, going somewhere else.
That seems like something you shouldn't have said.
Why?
That seems like something
Because
you
now they know.
Well, no, I'm not saying that's gonna be it, but I'm just saying that's a thought I had. I don't know what it might be. It might be that. It might not. That's a when I was listening to it, I was like, that would be. He didn't say it, but I was
So we're going to be in the middle of the campaign. We're going to be like, why are we in this
Your
weird
device
world?
connected.
And why are there so many tentacles?
I'm gonna start doing this to
or women. You never know. There's customer support.
This mic's so bad, all you hear is. I'm on. So, basically, if you do a one shot, we can. You want us to just use our characters we already have?
Yeah, do a one shot or two, and then when you get ready for your campaign, you can tell us like,
And we can do it on the podcast if you want.
yeah, because I would tell my guys,
Sounds
be
good.
like, hey, if we're doing like a one shot or a campaign, I'd be like, make characters this level. You know, like you could go ahead and say you're going to be level 1, or
All of our
like,
characters. are
Oh,
pretty
hey,
high,
no.
though.
Hey, do whatever you want. I'll just make the monsters if I'm like, okay.
well, no,
I'll
see, it
do
helps. It helps you a lot if all of us are similar.
All of us, if we
see, the
use
problem is I don't
characters
understand
from
it
the
yet,
same
so.
campaign, all of our characters should be around the same.
It's the same as like when you play Elder Scrolls or any of them. Your character, like a level 1, is a first starting character.
I don't understand that,
Like-
but like,
And the bad guys that you choose make a big difference too. Because like if you get like a level 40, monster,
And we're all level 5.
yeah, and you got a bunch of level 5 guys fighting, like there's a chance that like 40 of us may beat him. Well, then like there's a big chance that like even as the DM, you're like, bam, my monster rolled a nat 20. Everybody's dead. So like it happens. And like as a DM, like there's times I've rolled for the monsters and been like, I'm not using that. That will like murder the whole party.
I think you did that with us.
Dad had a goblin obsession in our first campaign. We fought so many goblins.
I'm gonna have a wolf obsession.
We fought so many
I'm gonna
goblins.
make sure Malachi cannot beat him.
The wolf?
Got my
I'm
nose
gonna
bit
get
off.
away to die.
Now, how'd you get your nose bit off?
I don't remember.
You were trying to befriend a zombie.
No, it wasn't a zombie.
I don't
It
know.
was goblins. I'm pretty sure.
You had a
They-
goblin. Oh, I think I.
It was a zombie. It
It
was a
was
bunch of undead, like necromancer, daggum demons.
You didn't tell me that beforehand.
Well, the first thing you said was, I'm going to go try to make friends with it.
I like to be friendly.
I'm like, creatures come out of the cave. And she's like, I roll to see if I can make friends with them.
Yeah.
And she rolled like a 2. No, you rolled a nat 1.
Did
Yeah,
Gary
what
do that
happened?
too?
And instead of killing her, I had the zombie bite her nose off.
Tess had a hand in one of the ones she did with my uncle.
Yeah. That was
Ian from
that was the Halloween one shot he did for us, wasn't it?
No, she did that with
Mm,
Caleb
okay.
and his friends.
Yeah, but didn't I think he had crap like that? No, he had George.
Yeah.
George was like a big
See,
ogre.
I
I'm
think
already
of, like,
thinking of stuff now.
Frankenstein,
And I'm ready for
but
this.
he was my friend,
Get it done.
and I befriended him, and it worked.
Number one shot. Oh, but my campaign either I don't know that one. But one shot maybe. I think I just said. I don't know, something like that.
It's not. I mean, it's literally just your imagination. You're the DM. You can do what you want.
I don't know. I want y'all to pull out some stupid stuff, and I'm just gonna be like, no.
You don't have to want people to pull out stupid stuff.
I want
Usually,
y'all
if
to.
you're like, this will be the easiest thing in the world. Like you'll have a like padlock, and you're like, okay, they got to get clues around the room. The combination is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like 4 hours later. You're like,
But you know,
somebody roll a, I'll give you a hint check. Like, come on.
there's been times, it's like, I don't know. I think I pushed my uncle's nerves sometimes with the stupid questions I ask because as the DM, you have to say, "Okay, roll for it."
And,
Well,
but you
sometimes-
also, as a DM, you got to kind of try to think, what are they going to do? What are the types of questions they're going to have? What are they going to ask of this barkeep or this shopkeeper, this NPC that I've got coming along with them? Like, what are they going to need to know about him? And it doesn't matter how much you prepare. There's times I've got to the end of a one shot. The only thing of the entire one shot that was actually on my paper and ready for me to do was, these are your characters. You wake up. Everything else is off the cuff because they just they need to go like, you've got 4 paths you can take. 3 of them are dark and gloomy and have dragons. 1 goes right to a little village in an inn, and they're like, we're going down the one with the biggest dragon. And you're like, I kind of needed you to go down that one.
There was
And you can make them turn around, or you can just let them do whatever.
there's this one I listened to today. I laughed so hard. They got into this big room. There was 8 doors, maybe 6, and there's torches. They had a lot, so they went around trying to light all the torches and open the doors. And then they tried nothing else. The DM goes, "I haven't tried to open the doors." I was like, "There's no shot." They opened the doors and they were unlocked. I was like, "Oh my god!"
And that's the thing, too, because you can never. I don't know. I think it would be fun to work in an escape room, like where you get to watch the cameras for that reason. Because it doesn't matter how much preparation or what you expect of people. Even people you know, oh, they're going to do this. This is what they're going to think. And every time.
Well, my problem with the escape room, one I went to, we went with 4-H. Everybody was so everywhere. And like, okay. There's riddles in some of them, right? So, everybody's been working on the same one. You have to unlock all these keys to get it, and everybody's working on the same room, right? When I tell you, we've been looking for the last key for forever, right? And it's a combination. Woo! And Elijah walks in the jail cell, breathes on the mirror, shows the combination, and walks out and reads it to everybody. Said nothing. He didn't tell us how he figured it out, what his reasoning for going and breathing on the mirror was. Nothing. He literally, we've been looking for this combination for 10 minutes. Walks in there, breathes on the mirror, and walks out. What?
I mean, he Sherlock Holmes it.
Like
you guys-
he's one of that. And the combination showed up with the fog. I was like, bro,
Yeah, the only one we
Get the heck outta here.
Okay.
Scooby-Doo one.
we
It's
went
alright.
and seen Until Dawn last night.
What y'all think?
It was pretty good. If you want to, I would actually get.
I played the game.
I'd get the
Oh, I-
podcast going again, and I'd rather you to see it again tonight if you want to see it again. That's how good it was.
I'm down. I haven't watched it. I want to see if it's somewhat close to.
I was highly surprised because they had a lot of unique kills, had a lot of unique monsters.
One day,
And-
right?
They had a bunch of them. Like it's
Oh,
no, they were like, screw it, let's put it all in there. But like the characters and stuff were more realistic to real life. Because I've been in a lot of crazy situations myself. But like a lot of movies and horror movies, everybody like goes in a crazy situation, and either everybody's a commando or everybody's a sissy. You know what I mean? Like because
my problem was, I was like, yeah, I'll go see a movie with you. They're like, we're going at 10. I'm not going to see a movie. 10 o'clock.
anyway, as I was saying, like the characters reacted differently in different situations.
What game?
Sorry.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because like it depends on what monster's coming at you. Like because like for you, Dylan, if a werewolf comes out and you're out in the woods hunting already and you got your rifle, you're probably going to start firing shots. You're immediately going to start shooting and you're going to be aggressive.
If
Okay.
anything is running towards me in the
No.
middle of the woods,
No,
I'm
Dylan.
shooting.
Lucy comes swinging by the tree next to you. You're not going to shoot at her. You're taking off. I'm done. Dylan's going to be like, nope, the dolls are walking. I knew it was coming. I'm out.
No, if I see a doll in the middle of the woods, I'm doing 2 things at once: running and shooting.
Like this.
No, I'm gonna run backwards.
Yeah. But I'm saying like the werewolf, you would start advancing. You'd be like,
Yes.
I've got to be aggressive. I got to be fast.
That
The
tends
doll.
tonight as well.
Yeah, I know. the doll, you would be like,
I'm gonna start backing up and I'm gonna start shooting. Yes, the werewolf. I'm gonna advance forward. I might have an AR. I might have a 308
What's
bolt
the
action,
game
which
about?
sucks. I don't think the game is the right because they were talking about they're in a time loop.
I've seen it, but oh, is that the one it is?
No, is that the movie? They're in a time loop.
yes,
Yeah.
they keep
I don't
resetting.
think the game's in a time loop.
It's kind of like the movie's kind of like ReZero.
I know it's. I did want to see that one. But why 10?
Malachi, it's the only time it's playing. You're going with us. Deal with it.
Yeah. Either they've changed it or it's a different thing.
And with
Hourglass.
Yeah.
with this
While
movie too.
the Until Dawn movie is technically inspired by the 2014 survival horror game. It features different characters and a standalone storyline,
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
So-
more sense.
loosely.
Yeah, because
And it was really cool because it set up enough plot because I could be slow at times, but like it would kind of like build into the characters,
So-
and then you see death.
yeah,
death,
that's
death,
that. I
like,
got
it's
a question.
Just
A
absolute
bunch of
insanity.
people die and then they come back, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
so, like,
exactly
it's-
like the game.
But I enjoyed how like different like they would attack different characters or whatever, but like their reactions are different every time. What they grab
Wait.
is different. What they
Yeah.
do.
Is that the one where you're trying to figure out what it is before it kills you?
No, they're just trying to survive till morning.
Oh,
Period.
okay.
Before I say continue, let me rephrase that. It's not exactly because they can all die, but it's your choice. So I would like to rephrase that for anybody who's played the game and watched.
Wait, are you the monster? in the game?
No, you're everybody, but you get to decide pretty much who lives and who dies. And at the end,
So you can sacrifice somebody to get somebody to the
well, no, it's better to keep everybody alive. But I think, I can't remember, but everybody can die. That's the whole premise. Everybody can die, or everybody.
But you reset where everyone dies now.
No, you can go back. I want to save that person. You can go back and save that person.
But if
Yeah.
everyone dies, it restarts, right? Because you're trying to make it towards morning.
I don't think you're trying to make it towards the morning. I think you're just trying to get away from the Wendigo. That's their hope. That's
You're
their
just
hope.
trying to survive. Period.
Yeah.
But like that makes sense. And
Because-
they've started doing a bunch of like we went and seen Sinners. Who went and seen it with me?
Kiri and that test.
Yeah, and like it was good, but
Oh,
it,
Sinners?
yeah, it kind of let me down a little. Still a good movie,
It was weird.
but like it was, I don't know, not my cup of tea. I enjoyed all the like they had some good kills,
It's a vampire movie. right?
yeah, and
Vampire
stuff like
vampires.
that. But like as far as the rest of it, like they had a really cool like at first when they first started, there's a scene in it where they do like music and he's playing like the folk and the blues and stuff, but like then it goes like all throughout like folk music throughout time and like blends all the genres as it goes. And like when it first starts, I'm thinking like I don't know. You know, but by the time they got doing the medley like all the way through it, I was like, okay, they did a good job with that. That's pretty good. But like it wasn't like, oh, I'll go see it. Like It's a Wonderful Knife was terrible and we trash it because it's so bad. Sinners, I'll be like, it's not like the greatest movie, but it wasn't terrible. You know, so
I wanted to watch the Star Wars movie last night, but I didn't go.
What Star Wars?
It's 25th anniversary of Star Wars, and they released the
Shouldn't that be on May the
Revenge
4th?
of the Sith.
I think I'm gonna try to get Tage to go see all the Studio Ghibli movies with me this summer.
The what?
Studio Ghibli. Ghibli. Some people say Ghibli.
Spirited Away.
Okay. So you gotta say the name.
Princess Monarchy.
That's
The Boy in
I've
the
heard
Hair.
that one's really
House
good.
Moving
Princess
Castle.
Monarchy.
Princess Monarchy is
Princess,
good.
I have it. If you want to watch it, I have
What?
it. Princess Monaco.
It's
Monarchy?
on
I think-
HBO.
yeah.
Well, I have it.
I think all of them are on
We
Dylan
didn't
HBO.
have HBO.
Dylan has it. What?
We didn't have HBO when I bought it.
Dylan
didn't have
had it.
anything.
Dylan has the disc. I don't know. He needs to
I like
let it
to have
out.
it.
There's nothing wrong with that. Because if I mean everything goes belly up, you don't have that stuff.
Exactly. I have it. You don't.
And then there's what's another one?
You're just old.
Netflix has one that me and Tasia watched, and I'm like,
Susan.
yeah, Suzume. But
That's
like,
pretty good.
it
I
was.
watched one on
I
Netflix.
enjoyed it. If you like The Boy and the Heron, if you like House Moving Castle and them,
So it's called wait. What is the
Suzume.
no? What's the author or whatever?
Studio
Director?
Ghibli.
It's Studio Ghibli.
So I watched one on.
Will you look up the name of the Studio Ghibli guy? The guy who did the Spirited Away and all them.
I watched one on Netflix the other day. That's the same people as this. Your
Okay.
name?
Suzume?
No, your name.
How's Moving
Your Name.
Castle?
Yes.
Who did your name? Who are those
Not
guys?
Studio.
Yeah, I know, but who did those? I watched one they did on Netflix, and the entire premise, they're like fall in love as kids, and then they grow up and move away, and the entire premise is like that love doesn't last for. It was.
Yeah. If you liked House Moving Castle and The Boy in the Hair and Them, you'll like Suzume. It was pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
It had that whimsical, the House Moving Castle had the artwork.
Yeah.
It's like all like pastels and vibrant and stuff. Like Suzume was like that. They did a good job of keeping the vibrancy of a lot of the old school animes.
I don't know how I didn't know they did.
Hayao Miyazaki. That's who I thought it was.
Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Not really.
I thought that's
people
who
who
it
wrote
was.
Your Name in Jail.
Same last name as the guy who made Elden Ring. All the Dark Souls is the hardest games in the world.
Yeah.
Same last name.
That makes sense.
I hate you, but I love you at the exact same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I forget they made all these, like from Up on the Poppy Hill. That was a good one. Only Yesterday. That was a good one.
And the problem is this, though. Most people would be like, you bunch of guys sitting around watching children's movies.
Screw it. So what?
And it's like Free Run. Did you watch Free Run?
Dylan,
I love Free Run.
You won't watch anything you recommend.
It's so slow.
I can't.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. If you
So
recommend Dylan a show,
boring.
he will never watch it.
Okay.
I'll start it, but I'll never finish it.
Here's Free Run's premise. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Free Run and it's at battles.
It's called Free Run Beyond Journey's End.
Beyond Journeys.
I know,
Yeah.
I know what you're
But like it is at the end of their big adventure. And she's starting a new one with like new characters, but
She lives
flashing
forever.
back. And like it keeps and encompasses like it does I guess
So,
two completely
D&D?
different groups. But it does two completely different groups storyline throughout it. And like I enjoy it.
I don't know.
Everybody else did. Tasia crocheted through it. Malachi was like, I hate this shit.
I've been in a big anime.
I like the setup. It's just you have to get past episode 2.
Yeah, you got to watch 2 or 3 episodes before it.
One
I
of
think
those
what
would be-
happened was we watched 2 episodes. I was very bored, and then you were like, "Oh, can me and Malachi watch it while you're at work?" And I was like, "Well, sure, it's boring."
So a little bit faster version of My Hero Academia, because My Hero don't get good until like season 3.
Okay, I have seen a
You're-
lot.
I know.
Hero
Why? So bad for like.
The first 2 seasons.
It's
3.
because they focus so much on the school,
Yeah, they did.
and it's like they make it okay. First off, you should not have to go to high school to become a superhero. If you're strong, you're a superhero.
I mean, but if you
The
are required to go to
world,
high school,
okay, you have to
anyway,
get a license just to be a superhero. As long as you're not out killing people.
A lot
on
of
the
this stuff
streets.
was also written by a country that like they don't allow knives.
Well, no, that's around the whole world. I mean, literally, how did they kill Star and Stripes that quickly?
She-Ra.
Okay, but her entire power, she can make 2 rules. Anything she says happens. If she says new order, anything she says after that can happen. You're not killing her.
She was kind of broken.
She can say new. The only thing, what is it? She can't have a physical effect on you.
Thanks.
She said new order. If Shigaraki moves one more time, his heart stops.
How did he break out of that?
The way they said it is because he didn't know who he was.
Yeah, he had 2 souls born within him at that moment.
Yeah, they didn't. He didn't
like-
know who he was.
Yes.
They were
But-
battling so much for control, like he wasn't anybody.
So if she would have said all for one, would that have stopped him?
Because that's their power. I think she should have said, if this guy I'm touching right now moves again, he.
I kind of like how she did it though. Where she like had the quirk.
She said new order. Anyone who has new order destroys every quirk.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
was-
she
I
went
did
out
like
with a
that one.
bang, but it's like at the same time, she could have killed him.
Yeah,
In-
but I'm
in
also
in a real life situation, he would have died.
see. I didn't even watch all of the series.
it
though,
wasn't
and I was
for the
watching
plot.
those couple episodes with them, and like I also am glad that like they didn't Captain Marvel it.
But
Yeah.
they did it for the plot. Was
Because
making it
Deku-
because Deku has to kill him.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that because, like, I think
What's
they
also insane to
ruined
me?
Endgame when they were like, "Here's one chick, shows up, kills everything."
See, I don't know how it ends.
What?
My hero.
I'm caught up on the show.
No, you don't know how it ends.
No.
Okay.
I don't care.
I kind of read it for myself. So.
I don't
don't know.
He hasn't watched any. I watched it with Kiri.
I'm not gonna.
I knew
when
he
him and
would.
Kiri
Anybody
were
listening,
watching,
I'm not-
I
I wouldn't
wouldn't
say
have.
out.
I knew he wouldn't have found it as interesting as Kiri would have. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to make him start. Like
I'm
I
not
started.
surprised you
I
don't know.
started Brotherhood with them. 30 seconds in, they were all like, "Oh, this sucks."
Brotherhood.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
They wouldn't give it a chance. Dad was like, "This sucks.
Did I start that with you?
This sucks," with that little pouty lip, because he didn't want to watch. This sucks.
What in the heck? I don't remember doing that. I don't remember starting the show.
Okay, it's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I've heard it's a very good anime.
Full Metal Alchemist has been out forever.
No, this one's Brotherhood.
Full Metal Alchemist first came out. It might be a new series, but like I watched Full Metal Alchemist back in the day. See, I like the Vinland sagas. I love Castlevania.
Why are they in Castlevania like that?
I liked a happy ending. It
I
made me happy.
I
to have
don't
a happy
like
ending.
a happy ending.
The
I just don't.
First in the Full Metal Alchemist anime series, often referred to as FMA 03, premiered in Japan October 4th, 2003.
But I'm mainly talking about Brotherhood because that's
English
the good.
dubbed in 2004.
Look up when Brotherhood, Full Metal
you
Alchemist.
ready to make
Brotherhood.
everybody who watched it uncomfortable?
Watched what?
Edward.
Don't they like kill a dog in that?
You know what?
No, they kill a little girl and turn her into a dog in that
Yeah,
show.
they turn into a chimera.
It's terrible. But we're gonna watch it. It's gonna
2009.
break Mom's heart.
2009 is when Brotherhood come out.
It's 50 episodes. We're
What do
watching
you
that.
call them? Chimera?
What?
He's
in
never
a
seen it.
chimera?
Maybe.
Are you talking about like an animal hybrid?
Sure.
That's a chimera.
Well, hey, I guess that's what it is.
What the fuck is a chimero?
Well, it's a Camaro Chihuahua.
Camaro Chihuahua. They put wheels on that little bastard. Now he's running around the yard just burning rubber everywhere.
Yapping everywhere.
Chimera.
Oh my god!
Look, it's
You just insulted like 6 different nationalities with one word. There ain't chonking.
look. I'm with Malachi. English thingy bobber is
That's like I saw a video last
Sure.
night that a guy didn't know that there was a silent G in lasagna.
lasagna.
And he-
Lasagna.
Is
And
that good?
He said he got a text from his sister. You want to come over and have lasagna or whatever, however you pronounce it. He was like,
Lasagna.
he texts back, "What the is lasagna?" Because he's black, so he's saying the N word every sentence. But he's like, I called her. What is lasagna? Lasagna. What is that? I never had that. Lasagna. Lasagna, bro. Lasagna. What? I put a G in that, and I agree. Why put something there if it's not?
Yes, have
If
you not
it's
gonna
silent.
say it?
I mean, when I was a kid, like
Psycho? Why is the P there if
I
we're
spell
not
it-
saying it?
I spell it like we say it, and that's the problem.
Pterodactyl.
And so, like, I was
Psycho.
11 or 12, and
Man, son.
Mama had a sign that said, "I hate 4 little words: cook, iron, dust, wash." And I was like, "Mama, they spelled wash wrong." And she's like, "No, boy, it doesn't have an R in it." I'm like, "The heck it don't. Wash." She's like, "No, it's wash." And I'm like, "I don't care what you say." That's like,
There's no
How-
R in it.
how do you say demonstrative?
Didn't know that word.
My thing is, man, son,
Bologna.
nothing is spelled right.
Now, mansion makes sense.
No, it doesn't. It's spelled manson. Manson. Not man. Shun.
Wait, mansion, tension, pollution.
And the problem, you also have to look at the problem with the English language is you have to look at where it come from.
You don't
What
have
was
to.
the root?
You don't have to do that. You literally don't.
If you want to know why it's spelled the way it's spelled,
You literally don't have to do that.
Malachi, I'm gonna sick Dylan on you in a minute. I'm gonna sick you on him.
Yeah, no.
You're
that's
my
fine.
attack
That's what I'm
dog.
saying. Why am I attacking?
What you think you're gonna lose?
I might.
Me and Dylan have fought twice and he's lost. both
Not
times.
full thought. I haven't because I don't want to hurt you. I went full fight, it might be a hard competition.
He thinks like if he gets me in the air, he'll instantly have me.
I won't lie.
And I just like I'll grab his neck and just put him in a headlock, and
He'll
and,
pull up.
and it's like, okay, first off, a headlock drive my rib cage straight into the ground.
Yeah.
That's you weigh enough and you're strong enough. You could probably jump in the air with me and drive my. You could kill me. I mean, don't. But I'm saying like if
I'm just giving you a few ideas.
You could murder me if you wanted
in
to.
the
I prefer
situation,
if you did.
in the situation though, if someone got you in a headlock, I feel like you wouldn't be thinking, but like you would probably give up. But
freak out.
yeah,
That's
but
why
like,
you do jujitsu and stuff.
yeah, and you break your ribs.
I didn't break them. I just snatched one loose from the cartilage. It's not that big of a deal. I've done
It is when you're already falling apart.
Are you coughing up blood?
No,
Have you coughed?
no, I'm not an idiot. You know how many ribs I've broke? I
just
know
mentioned,
that I know that if your rib cage is hurting and you're coughing up blood, it's probably a bad thing. I know that if your rib cage isn't hurting and you're coughing up blood, you probably should get that checked.
I don't know. Every anime character, when they break their rib, cough blood.
Every anime character coughs blood in general.
Yeah,
When they-
every anime character sees panties and the blood comes out of their
This is
nose,
true.
mouth, and everything.
Okay, but Dylan, you're saying
Which I have never seen in real life.
you're saying. Here's what I'm thinking. Okay,
It's not looking hard enough.
he said.
She's right on that one.
Show me. Let's see if my nose bleeds.
He said every anime character bleeds out of their mouth, coughs up blood when their rib cage breaks. He's not adding the fact that they just got thrown at a wall at 30 miles an
I
hour.
mean, this is
No,
also-
no, he's not adding the fact that they just got thrown through a wall or
Through
a
multiple
whole building
buildings.
or half of a freaking city, and they're like, "Oh no, I lost a tooth."
It's
You
like-
lose every molecule in your body.
Okay,
Man.
well, it's One Piece versus Garp. If you're not caught up on One Piece, sorry, but Garp versus Aokiji. Okay, this is a 65-year-old man going toe to toe with a 30-year-old, grinning the entire time. This guy went head to head with the king of the pirates.
So,
He's not. Well, the king of the pirates was one of the strongest pirates ever.
yeah, but I'm saying if you're 65 at that point, you're like, "Yeah,
Well, no, this was in the past when he went head to head with the king of the pirates. Is what I'm
He was
saying.
also like, what, 30, 40? Probably?
Yeah, whenever he fought, they were all probably 30. Yeah,
They're close to the same age.
but now he's 65, right? And he's called the Great War Hero, Vice Admiral Garp. That's his name, the Great War Hero, and he's in the Navy. But
He proves that name.
he pulls up, and there's a fight that he didn't join in like episode 500, and there's a meme that goes around that's like, this is them saying, "Hey Garp, sit down. We don't have the animation money for your fighting yet." This guy kicked the air and threw his boat in the sky.
how big of a boat?"
A boat, a cruise ship.
Yeah,
I mean,
think
like
of
like a pirate ship.
yacht.
Okay.
He jumps up and down, kicks the air, and throws his ship in the sky. And these low stream pirates, all right. He got stabbed mid fight, right? These like low stream pirates are going to fight him, and Aokiji, the guy with the ice fruit, he's freezing them. He goes, "It doesn't matter if both this guy's legs and arms were tied up. You aren't enough."
He doesn't have a devil fruit.
I want them to explain something. Like, have me an anime, a superhero movie, whatever. Go into the science, have them studying some fool, and tell me how in the heck somebody can kick the air so fast and so strong and their daggum leg not just fly straight crap off.
You're built different.
No, can you imagine the speed to do that? Like the sheer
Oh, yeah,
speed.
no,
like your freaking leg would just go.
Well, if I'm thinking correctly,
One Piece has a
isn't Garp's body, like his legs are small and his upper half is huge?
Well, look up a picture of
all of the One Piece characters are freaking retardedly built.
Well, it's weird because like Zoro and Sanji, normal build. Luffy, almost all his crew, except for Frankie. Frankie's like what the freak.
The bad guys, though, like you got like just some retardedly shaped bad guys that you look at them and you're like, all right, just on physics alone, they're not able to do that.
I like the theory. Okay, no, I was thinking about
No, you're not. You're not. That's not a good picture. That's not how he looks.
I like the theory of how One Piece will end. How they're all dead except for.
Shut up.
I like that theory.
I will cry.
But I love it. He's telling the story.
So Brooke ate the alive fruit, and he died on his first pirate ship, right?
Yeah.
And the alive fruit brings you back. He spent 50 years on a boat by himself in the middle of the ocean because all his crew got killed, but he got regenerated. What did you do?
Cool.
Fandom. Don't go to fandom websites. Oh no.
But I mean, you got to think about. Yeah, that's him.
He broke
Fighting.
tiny legs.
I mean, if he was to shave him bald, he would look kind of like Robert.
Robert Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I'll show you. You're watching One Piece.
You want me to watch 1,000-something
Dude,
episodes?
it's so worth
I'm
it.
saying.
It's so worth
I'm
it.
trying. But
It's so worth it. Once you get, you really just like you think. I'm so glad.
I don't like Alabasta. I'm sorry.
This
Sand
is your
Flakes? Is that
problem.
Alabasta?
This is your problem. You're making it seem like it's more than it is.
It's not. I'm really not. I know it's, not more
not
than
that
it
much.
is. I could sit down and watch it. That's the problem.
How
I
many
sit down and
hours
watch
is it to watch all of One Piece?
See, what people don't understand, okay, is you got 5 minutes of recap at the beginning. You skip all of that. You skip the recap. Then at the end, you've got 2 minutes of preview and end credits. So you're only watching about 16 minutes.
Of 1,000 episodes.
I did it in a year.
He's a no life.
When you stay up as late as you do,
I think there might be a few more episodes out now. This says 1,122.
yeah. That's where I'm at.
But it's approximately 100 or 420 to 470 hours. I'm pretty sure we've discussed this before. By
Yeah.
the way.
Well, whenever I was watching it, I would stay up till 1 a.m. and then wake up whenever, and then I'd do whatever. But I could stay up later then.
See, I can't.
I miss whenever I could just binge watch stuff and like I could just watch. I cannot find anything. The only show I could find interesting is One Piece. That's it, and it's just the way they portray the story.
You watch Windbreaker?
No, not yet.
I like it.
It's something about. I think it's how much time I've invested to it to see it going somewhere, and like watching the story progress.
1,122 episodes and still having a story is not that bad.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Back
But you gotta
to-
think, Oda is building an entire world.
And a lot of other people have done that too.
But
But they did it in less than 437 hours.
To keep it going, building an entire world and keeping your fan base as big as it is.
Supernatural, is that what you just looked up? 327 hours.
Episodes, so they're about an hour apiece, aren't they? A little under.
Yeah. So you know what?
I'm just saying.
It's way
You've
long.
watched that one at least twice.
Yeah, but Supernatural's good.
So is One Piece.
So
10 times better.
there's this other one. I don't know what would you call it, theory,
And
but I would love it.
Dragon Ball has just as many episodes. If
Oh,
you
it's
add
a
all the
child,
series together.
man.
That's true. I got you.
I
There.
also listened to it at work one time.
Listen, didn't even watch it.
I would
He was working.
I would play the episodes in the
I watched-
background.
No, I didn't. I didn't watch anything.
I would play the episodes in the background while I did my paperwork, but I would just listen to them kind of like an audio drama. I did that with a lot of stuff at work when I would be doing recons for 10 hours a night for 3 or 4 nights. Like, music gets old after a while, and then you only have so many audio books.
I feel you there.
So, like, you would just
That's why I'm
start listening to movies.
3 hours of D&D stuff because I can't stand music
don't-
at work.
Part of the reason I
I'm not listening to
rewatched
anything at work.
part of the reason I rewatched Supernatural is because I listened to most
Just
of
on your
it
way to
first
work.
time.
I'm already-
On your way back.
I can listen to all that 3 hours on a 20-minute drive.
Yeah, because he doesn't have his earbuds on.
I don't know the song.
He leaves it in the truck all day.
Like he's supposed to.
Yeah.
Leaves it in the locker in the
All right.
lunchroom.
But no, so sorry.
She's gang signing this.
Those gang sites can wait. So no, there's this
I'm
other
gonna
one.
be the only one that misses it this episode. $10.
Oh yeah, wait.
Good.
Oh my god!
All right, round 2. Let's see if
Round 2.
me and Andrew are
But
actually
I've,
good.
I've made 2 this podcast.
Yeah.
Thing, but net.
Damn it! Why do I do that every time?
I don't know. No, hang on. I was talking. Shut up.
I don't play basketball.
Yeah, neither do we. I'm just better at it, I guess. But no. So there's another thing that Oda will die before he finishes One Piece. And his last message will be, what is it? Go find the
Oh.
One Piece.
Yeah, he'll say, "Go find the One Piece."
And everybody will just go for a pirate adventure. I'll be down. I actually want that to happen. No offense. Love you. I just want that because that'd be.
You know why
awesome.
you want that to happen? Because the government sucks.
Well, that would just be fun.
Screw
going to find
government
it.
systems. Let's all be pirates.
That's true. I would love
But that's the problem, though. Like most of the pirates were just working for a different government.
Well,
No.
the
Like
only thing
if you look at actual piracy in history, most of the time you're one country's like the pirates attacking everybody is just another country's soldiers.
Well,
I mean-
like the way the One Piece world is built,
Look at the
The
actual
government-
piracy age and when it come about, it was mostly all the countries were at war, and so one country would pay a
government-
fleet of ships.
it's called the world government, and they're in charge of the whole world.
Kind of like they're trying to like do to us for 200 years now.
But the way it is it shows that not everything is as righteous as people make it out to be. Because some of the navies, if you're high enough in the Navy, you can hit a button and have an entire country wiped off the map because you felt like it, or because they did something you didn't think was right.
So kind of like in real life.
The government hid
Maybe.
800 years of history because they didn't like what happened in that 800 years.
So kind of like in real life.
Yep. That's what it portrays. And, there's slavery, all that, but it's all the government doing all the bad stuff. Everything that's being covered up is the government. And the government's great. There's my favorite episode. There's
The
these
bobblehead.
there's these people that are called celestial dragons, and they founded the world government. So they are raised and taught that they are gods. Normal people can't even look at them. If they look at you and want you to be their slave, you come to them, right? And one of my favorite episodes is Zoro's just walking down the road. Zoro's a pirate. He's been a pirate most of his life. He doesn't
He wasn't
care.
a pirate.
Well, he was a bounty hunter, a swordsman. He didn't know. I mean, he was raised on an island fighting with swords. He doesn't care. He's walking down the middle of the road. Everybody's freaking out. He looks at this celestial dragon. He goes, "What? You need directions?" And the dude pulls out the sword, or pulls out his gun and goes to shoot at him. Okay, if you've seen Zoro fight, you've seen some episodes. He's not going to take that. So he goes and Zoro could have easily just chopped this dude up in a billion pieces. And another character goes over there and pushes him over and is like, "Sorry, he's drunk." Because if you attack a celestial dragon, a Navy admiral gets called, and those are the top officers in the Navy. But they show that
George.
people are so afraid of status
Mm-hmm.
and what the power you get from status.
You deal with that in real life a lot. I'm
Yeah, I
sure
know.
you deal with that in the factories a lot. Because like I used to deal with people, I'd be like, "Oh no, I can't tell them this because they're a manager or they're a CEO." So they have so much power. No, they don't. They have a lot of power over your job, but they have no freaking power over you. Go tell them your machine's broke. Go tell them they need to put, like, if they're the CEO or they're high up, go tell them they need to put some more money in the daggum plant. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
My uncle's my supervisor, so I can just be like, "Hey, yo, stop being an idiot."
Well, like we had a crew come in one time that was doing a tour, and we had a couple senators coming, and then we had a bunch of this like big wigs and stuff from the company I worked for, and like everybody was freaking out, and like they didn't want to like everybody was supposed to be all serious and this and that and the other, and like one dude we had this giant cardboard box, and I'm talking about like 7 by 7 and like 18-foot tall. I cannot remember what piece of machinery this cardboard come off of, but he had got on the cherry picker, went up like 10 foot, and put a little hole and drawn a door and all the like artwork on it and put like to feed giraffe, put food here. And it's freaking hilarious. But one of the CEOs asked about that, and the manager was just like trying to explain. And I was like, he did it because it was freaking funny. Like, he was up there on a cherry picker cleaning that rack for me anyways, and he had plenty of time because it was break time. And he was like, I'm just going to work through break. So instead of working through break, Art getting down and going and doing all that stuff during his break, I guess he drew something that made me laugh. Like, I like to laugh at work. And he was like, cool. And the manager was like, well, why'd you tell him that? Did you see the smile on his face? He thought it was funny too. Like, you're sitting there so scared. Like, why?
That's like I try to explain to. So my work now, they want everything to go through management. So they want one person to be the person who fires. But like I said, okay, you've worked at a factory. Okay. If the boss that's directly above you comes and fires you, you're fired, right?
Yeah.
If the boss above that boss comes in there and says you're fired,
You're fired.
if the boss above that boss comes in there and says you're fired, you're fired. If the CEO comes in there and says you're fired, you're fired. If it doesn't matter, they want the one manager to fire. But if this person's above this person,
Yeah. If you are, well, I mean, even if in that situation, the manager should fire them, period. If you've been told to do your job, do your job.
but also it's like they don't want to be the bad guy. And you can't be in a management position and not want to be the bad guy. And it's not being the bad guy, it's you got what you, if you're not doing something right.
And there's a lot of situations that suck too, like being a manager sometimes or being just a boss. Like, I had to fire people sometimes that it wasn't their fault. They didn't do anything wrong. It's just, hey, business is slow. Like, I can't, like, I don't want to fire you. It sucks firing you. I don't want to let you go, but I still have to. Like, you can't put that stuff off.
Yep.
But yeah.
You can't be worried about being the bad guy.
No. Y'all lead us out before your mama gang signs me some more.
All right.
We're going to go eat.
Yeah, screw y'all guys. No, I'm joking. Well,
That's it. Like, subscribe, follow, share, do coke.
Play D&D.
Yeah.
Or if you're in Tennessee, hit us up. We could use some more people. So, as always.
I have a 500-person D&D game going.
Also,
That would be awesome.
also-
Please.
You
also,
could do tables at like a big conference.
if
and
we
have
get-
every table be different, but all going.
if
towards
we
one
get
big
to
goal.
if we get to 500 subscribers, Dylan will take the Volvo antenna to his thigh.
Malachi will get punched.
No, Dylan will do. Malachi
right
will do
hand.
nothing, but
Nope,
Dylan
he's
will
gonna
get
get
Volvo antenna
You're going to get punched
right to his
straight
calf,
in your
his bare
shoulder.
calf,
I
if we get to
promise you.
500 subscribers.
Straight in your